partnership with Cactus Cactus, we're installing houseplants into the studio. We're using a selection of upright and trailing houseplants, as well as some cactus and succulent to make a nice background for when we're in the studio recording. We're uppotting some of these plants as they needed some new soil to allow proper drainage and to let the roots kind of reach out and extend a little bit. Some of the plants that we're putting in today didn't necessarily need to be repotted, and we did have some pots that we selected that didn't have drain holes. So what we've done is we added a small layer of gravel just to prop up the pots and allow for the excess water to be able to drain out, but we actually kept them in their original nursery pots and we false planted them. This allows them to have a more fancy look, I guess, if you want to say, but keeping them in the original nursery pot. So we're using a combination of a good quality potting mix, and we're amending it ourselves with a fair portion of expanded shale to ensure that we kind of have a chunky mixture and that excess water can drain through very easily. Now it's time to install the plants. This room faces southeast to southwest and receives a good amount of morning sun, avoiding some of the really hot afternoon sun that can be stressful for some of these interior plants. We're placing them based upon their light requirements, but also we're keeping in mind that we're going to have to add supplemental light into this room. Even though we're getting good window light, the corners on the left and right, especially our plants that are hanging or up higher on the shelf, are not going to receive adequate light. Most likely they're not going to receive hardly any light. Just because the room is bright doesn't mean that the plant is actually getting light. So we'll be adding some ceiling track lighting with grow lights in the coming weeks to help supplement the light for these plants. So we're looking forward to seeing how these plants take off inside the studio and how they add a great element to some of our content. We'll be adding more plants as time goes on, but we're starting small, making sure that we're successful with the first plants, and then we make adjustments as needed. So thanks to Cactus Cactus for the help in plant selection and install.